Hi, everybody. This is Erica from In the Company of Cards, back again, 2 days in a row. Um, this will be brief. There's just a couple of questions that I thought that I would look at today. So, the first one has to do with Nancy Pelosi, um, who apparently has had an accident, whatever that means. I suspect it means a fall. Um, so I want to look at that. I also want to look at AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, for those of you who don't know, um, from New York, and she is vying for the top position on the House Oversight Committee. And I'd like to know how she'll fare. She's considered a progressive. Pelosi, who really runs the House with an iron hand, even though she's emerita in terms of leadership, is backing somebody else. So I'd like to know what AOC's chances are. I think she's terrific. I'm originally from the East Coast, and she's obviously from New York. I just think she's brave and bold and exciting new leader. And I just want to see um, how her quest for that position on the oversight committee is going to go. And then the third thing is I'm going to jump on the bandwagon like everybody else and look at this drone situation. I lived 30 years in New Jersey, so kind of, and I have family and friends there, of course. And it's not just in New Jersey, by the way, that these drones have been sighted. So I just want to look, I'm going to ask some questions around that, just so you know what you're getting into. Okay. First thing I want to look at is Pelosi and how she's doing after this um, accident in Luxembourg. They're not even calling it a fall. She's not unconscious or anything. They say she's still working, but looking forward to coming home. So she will not be able to fulfill whatever obligation she had over there. But I just want to see how she's doing. Okay, so I'm going to use the older woman, and that will stand for Pelosi. Okay. All right. Popped right up. Okay, so this will stand for Pelosi. Two cards to the left, and then two cards to the right. Okay, and I may draw some clarifiers on this. Um, she's with people who love and care about her. This would be probably staff, right? But she's among good helpers. She's with good helpers. She has good helpers in her circle, so that's really good. She, of course, is in the center card, but this was scary for her. It was a scary health thing. So, sometimes people fall because they trip on something. Some people fall, you know, McConnell style, like they lose time and space and they just whatever. Um, but this was scary for her. She is 84. And I have to say, being of a certain age myself, I haven't fallen much in my adulthood, but now that I'm the age that I am, I will say that falling is very discombobulating, very startling, it's much different to fall when you're an older adult, let's just say, than it is when you're a child and can bounce back up. So let's look and see. I think it probably was a fall, but maybe not. Um, I'm going to pull clarifiers, so I'll let you watch me do that. I'm just going to pull them on her and on these mice. Oh, and on the tree. Okay. So, um, on Pelosi, we have the house, the clover, and the letter. She really wants to get home quick. And the diagnosis of whatever this is go home fast. So she's ready to hop on a plane as soon as she's able and return home. I don't love what comes along with these mice. Now remember, mice is anxiety, worry, fear. And as I said, when you fall as an adult, it's discombobulating. And indeed, this was for her. We've clarified it with the snake, the fish, and the sun. The snake, she didn't just like scrape her knees. It was more than that. Uh, yeah, because we know that this is a problem. Uh, I think that it probably also emotionally threw her for a loop because that's the card for this. And everybody around saw that. So, she wants to get home behind closed doors, safe with her family and friends, and away from this incident because everybody saw. And um, I think it scared everyone. So I don't know if she lost consciousness. I mean, people fall for a lot of reasons. And by the way, it might not even be a fall. Um, but I suspect that it was. And there are lots of reasons people fall. Like I say, they trip, or they go unconscious, or they get pushed. I mean, it could be anything, but it really shook everybody up. Um, and then the tree, which, as I said, is the card for health in all forms, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health. We have the younger woman, we have the garden, and we have the coffin. I think that this has made her feel, um, you know, physically weak. And when you feel physically weak, that can make you feel weak in other ways, you know, in front of people, because it was public, I feel like, when she fell. And of course, not for nothing, at 84, these kinds of things make you think about your own mortality. Um, so I think she'll be fine. I think she was shaken up. I think it shook everybody else up. I suspect it was a fall. I don't know if um she fell because she went unconscious, like she fainted or something, or if she tripped. I don't know. But I don't like the snake with that mice and those fish. So we wish her well, and safe travels home. Now, even as we wish her well and wish her safe travels home, it is also the fact she is a very, very powerful member of the House, obviously, former speaker, right? And she really ruled with an iron grip. She is considered the best strategist that the party has maybe ever known. Um, but uh, you know, her way is to sort of keep people in line and on side. And so AOC has historically been one of the squad members. I don't know if you know that term, but there were a group of progressives, largely women, who were voted in and referred to as the squad. I think they're all women. And Pelosi has put sort of a chokehold on them over the years, or tried to. Anyway, come to find out, Pelosi is supporting someone different for this position. And remember, the position is the head of, it's on the oversight committee. And now I will say that I'm pretty sure Jamie Raskin uh, has held the position, and Jamie Raskin is supporting AOC. That's terrific. He's terrific. But I would like to know whether what AOC's chances look like for this position. Now, there's a card that I could use for the position, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use the card for AOC, and that will be the young woman. Um, Here, this is, has nothing to do with yin energy or passivity or weakness or anything, as sometimes that card can mean. Here, it doesn't mean that at all because she's none of those things, but this will stand for AOC. And what we are asking Spirit is, what are her chances? How will she do in her quest to win this powerful position on the House Oversight Committee? Okay. So remember, we're looking for the young woman. She is. Okay, that's AOC in her quest for this Oversight Committee position. Okay, this is really interesting. Because I got all happy until I got to the last card, but I am going to pull some clarifiers. So remember I said that there's a card that I could have used for the actual position on the Oversight Committee. I think she's vying to be the head of it. That would have been this card. And here it is, shows up as our first card. So this is that plum position, head of the Oversight Committee. However, remember I can mirror whatever the first card is with whatever the last card is. Wouldn't you know, the last card is clouds. And I will say, if Pelosi is lobbying for someone else, which is to say against AOC, hmm, you know, that can be problematic. Now, the second card is the stork, and I like that. The stork is about positive change. To have her at the head of the oversight committee would indeed be terrific. Here she is in the middle. And then we have this ring. And, you know, sometimes I like the ring. In fact, I can mirror it with the stork. But the fact that it's followed by the clouds is making me think that if Pelosi is lobbying for someone who's seen as more mainstream, traditional Democrat, that's not who AOC is, and maybe people will go for that. But I'm gonna draw some clarifiers. I'll pull some on AOC. Uh, okay. And I'll pull some on that ring, and I'll pull some on these clouds. Yeah. Okay, so here's AOC herself. Kind of looks like her a little bit. We have Clover and we have the rider. So Clover is good luck, right? That's great. So, and then this is news coming in, messages, but look what we get. The coffin. Listen, Pelosi's the kind of person that if she wants something, no, if you want something and she doesn't want you to have it, generally speaking, you don't get it. So the coffin can be endings, but the coffin can also be transformation. When I think about those clouds, though, it's making me not feel too optimistic about AOC's chances. But remember, too, that energy is mutable. Things can change, right? All right, now what about this ring? What's that all about? We have the star, the tree, and the sun. So this is doing things in a similar way to the way that they've always done them, Democrats, which is what Pelosi wants, of course, because she's the one who set a lot of that in motion. And looking towards the future, because we know 45 is going to be inaugurated. So Pelosi looks to the future and says, no, we need to go with someone who is more traditional. I really feel like that's what she's going to say. She's not correct, but that's what she's going to say. Then we have these clouds, and the clarifiers are the birds, the book, and the scythe. So clouds is doubts about AOC getting the position. Birds is people conversing, talking about it, meeting about it, um, behind closed doors. Because remember, the book is about things that are hidden or things that we don't know. So there's a lot of politicking, as always, as ever, right? Behind closed doors to cut her off at the knees, AOC. So, you know, the thing about this card is I always say, yeah, it's a card that cuts, and I can mirror it with the first card, which is this plum assignment. So it could cut her off from being able to get it. The thing too, though, about the scythe is that there's a curve in the blade, which is to say it can also be reaping, gathering in. Maybe she gets the position, but I don't think so. I think that there's a lot of backbiting, infighting, ugliness going on in the Democratic Party. I think that as wonderful as AOC is, someone like old school Pelosi will see her as a rabble rouser and will think that rabble should not be roused at a time like this. And I think that Pelosi and her people will, in this moment, it looks like, be successful in their campaign against her getting the position. I think I will say what I always say, which is when you do a reading or you hear a reading and you don't like the outcome, then change it. Set your intention towards the outcome that you want because energy is mutable. But what I am reading in this moment is that the deck is stacked against AOC. I mean, I hope not. I gave her $100 this morning just because, you know, I mean, I think she's worth my money. And I live in San Diego, so, you know, she's not representing me, except she is representing me. So I didn't want to see this outcome. Again, if you live in uh, New York, well, if you live anywhere, because you know this would be a position that the electorate doesn't vote on, she'll be chosen by her peers or not by her peers. So just set the intention that you want so that we can maybe shift the energy of this in a different direction. Okay, one last thing, as I mentioned, I wanted to look at this, you know, drone situation in New Jersey. It's not just in New Jersey. Apparently, they've been sighted all over the country. And the government has said certain things which are very confusing. First of all, they're not going to just shoot them down because, you know, you don't just shoot something down to be shooting it down. Okay, that's fair. Second of all, they've said that these drones are not associated with any foreign government, foreign entity, friend or foe. Okay, so if they're not American and they're not foreign, what are they exactly? And I think I'm just going to ask that question. I'm just going to say, what is up with those drones? So that's the first question. Uh, And then maybe I have a couple more around that. So what's up with the drones? Or, you know, some of them as big as bicycles, some of them as large as cars. Come on. I mean, War of the Worlds, anyone? Just saying. All right, let's look. I'm going to let Spirit pick all the cards because I have no idea what's going on. Okay. All right. Spirit, what is going on? What are those drones about? Okay. All right. You know, I'm not like a UFO type person, but that doesn't mean they don't exist. Okay, scales, ring, dog, key, and ship. Now, I'm going to say a couple of things before, and I'll probably pull a couple of clarifiers, but here's what I think. I think that certainly we in this country, I mean, we could expand it to the world, but for now, let's just keep it local. We in this country are incredibly off balance in so many ways. Um, Politically, socially, financially, educationally, ecologically off balance. And we need to be rebalanced. This is my card for rebalance. I can mirror it with the last card, which is to say, if we are going to continue to exist, we need some serious rebalancing efforts made if we're going to continue. If our circle is going to remain unbroken, we need to be rebalanced. I'm going to say I'm going out on a limb because this is so not my purview, but I'm going to say that those drones mean us well. The government says these are not ours. The government says these are not from any foreign entity. So wherever they're from, I'm going out on a limb and I'm saying that they feel friendly, as though they mean us well. This is a wonderful card. I love that balance moving forward is sort of the bookended message. And then this fourth card is the key. And I can mirror the key with the second card, which is the ring. I think, I can't even believe I'm saying this. I really think these are from another realm. I think that they want us to experience the continuity and the good health of our planet. I mean, if we fall off, what else happens in the universe? Who else falls off? Who else is jacked up by our jacking up of our planet? So I think they're helping us. Now, I mean, is this wishful thinking and me watching too much Star Trek? I don't know. I'm going to draw clarifiers on everything about that. Gotta say, I mean, these are really lovely clarifiers that feel to me like they're confirming what I'm saying, which is that whatever they are, they mean us well. All right, so let's look at this balance card. The clarifiers are the tree, the letter, and the rider. Both the letter and the rider are about messages. Okay. The tree is about health. I think they are speaking to us about the health of our planet and the fact that we need to achieve balance. It's as though, you know what, it's like, it's not even it's that it's a message to them. It feels like our unbalancing of everything from, again, from the environment to health insurance to the person that's going into the White House on the 20th, we are just completely unbalanced. And it's as though we sort of um, vibrationally sent out a an SOS. That's what I think this is. Because this is a past life. We sent out an SOS. We need help rebalancing ourselves so that we are healthy. Okay. I mean, I know I sound woo-woo, but then again, I am reading cards, so what do you want? Okay, the ring. We have the child, we have the heart, and we have the bouquet. You can't get better than this. Listen, if our circle remains unbroken, which is to say, if we can rebalance ourselves in these and see our planet and our relation to our planet and to each other in a new way that is more love based than hate based and ugliness based and greed based, we will be giving ourselves quite the gift. And I think whatever's up there is helping us with that. Now, the center card, I was really interested because remember, I let Spirit pick everything and I let it pick the center card too. This is a friend, a helper. This is never a bad card. The clarifiers are beautiful too. We have the house, the lily, and the stork. Listen, if there's some extraterrestrial beings out there that are sending their drones, they're reminding us that this planet is our home. We treat it like a toilet, but it's our home. Okay. And we need to, take that into account. These are beautiful cards. This is like, I come in peace, like the aliens in the movies. I come in peace because we want you to do better, be better, try harder. This is the card always for positive change. So I'm loving this. I was really scared to do this reading. I didn't know how it was going to come out, but I'm thrilled. All right. The key is clarified by the tower, the fox, and the sun. Now, the key, of course, is like an answer. Tower, this is the government. Listen, the government's flummoxed about this as much as we are. That's why the answers feel like kind of non-answers, because obviously they know more than we do. But how do you disseminate this to the public? How do you tell the public, oh yeah, by the way, they're ETs and, pay no attention to those beings in the sky. Come on, that's not going to work. So there are, experts. There are experts who are figuring out how to bring what this stuff is to our awareness, in a way that is good and won't cause, again, War of the Worlds panic. Okay, the ship, this is moving forward. This is great. I like this young man. I've always said that. He sticks his neck out, like I'm kind of doing here, saying that I think that these are benign extraterrestrial visitors who mean us well. Um, and you know, moving forward, the government's going to have to be come across as confident, calm, uh, competent, because if they're not, there's our fear card, and this is the card for talk. They're playing it very close to the vest while they figure out what to say, um, because they don't want to instigate panic, which would be the mice. So, I mean, what can I tell you? I mean, I'm finding it as freaky as you all are, but I love the idea. I mean, I know that when I read, whether it's for us as a collective here, or whether I read for myself, or whether I read for clients, which I do a lot of, um, I know that I'm not by myself when I do it. I believe that the ancestors are with me. I believe that spirit is with me. And I believe that the universe is wide and vast and unknowable by my little human brain. But I do feel when I read, always guided, guarded, protected, assisted. So who am I to say that extraterrestrial life doesn't exist. The cards would beg to differ. The cards say that it does, and they say that in this case, the help we are being helped. We are being guided to do the right thing so as to put ourselves back in at least some degree of equilibrium so that we don't all, blow ourselves up, nuclearize ourselves, uh, you know, uh, agree so disagreeably that we off ourselves or each other, in this coming environment, political environment. I think this is about rebalance. And with Pluto and Aquarius, everything is possible, including the things that we never thought we would have come out of our mouths, like this. So, I'm not a NASA scientist. I am not a Star Trek um, member. I'm not even a Trekkie, although I mean, I watched Star Trek. I'm just a card reader who feels very tapped into source. And I think that what is floating above New Jersey and other places around the country, there will be copycats, by the way. Just saying. There will be copycats who say, oh, let me jump on this and put something up out there. There are people who can afford to do that. So there will be some of that. But I'm going to say, in terms of the first sightings of these things, I think they are otherworldly, and I think that they mean us well. So there you go. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. I think we are 100 subscribers away from 22,000. That's crazy. But apparently that's the number that YouTube tells me. So thank you so much for all your support. Um, Sunday will be another Sunday conversation with someone new, and I hope you'll tune in for that. And until then, have a great start to your weekend. Take care.